All right, so let's go a little deeper into the quote-unquote earth school, because that's really what this is, a training ground for souls. We didn't just show up here randomly. Earth, each of us chose to come here to Earth, to experience, to grow, to, like I said, clear old karma, and to, remember who we truly are. When we graduate from this lifetime, we want to leave feeling lighter, freer, and again, more aligned with love than when we came in. And I'm sure you've heard this. I've heard this a million times and said it a million times, that, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. We're on our way, quote unquote, home, to source, to God, the divine, whatever word resonates with you. And each incarnation brings us a little closer. Now, again, why would we choose to come to a place like Earth where things can get so heavy? Because here in this dense energy, lessons move fast. And I know, like I said, 70, 80 years seems like a long time, but on a soul's journey, it's the blink of an eye. We can clear lifetimes of karma in just one incarnation. Here we can, meet the same souls we've been entangled with for ages and finally bring healing and forgiveness and balance to those connections. So before we come, our spirit guides help us plan everything. Every detail, the lessons, the relationships, and the challenges we'll face. Nothing is random. Everything is designed to awaken something in us. But when we incarnate, like I said, we pass through that veil of forgetfulness. We forget who we are, why we came, and we forget all the past lives we've lived. And that's on purpose, because if we remembered everything, we'd be overwhelmed with, guilt and attachments and all that old emotional residue. We'd never move forward. The forgetting gives us a clean slate, but it also creates the illusion of separation. And that's where ego is born. The belief that, we're alone, it's all about us, or that life is happening to us instead of for us. But the truth is, everything, every situation, every person, every trigger, it's all perfectly timed lessons meant to bring us back to love. So when someone cuts you off in traffic, that's not random. When an argument happens seemingly out of nowhere, that's not random either. These are karmic echoes, karmic opportunities to respond differently than we did before, to choose forgiveness instead of judgment. Karma isn't punishment. It's just energy returning for balance. Everything is about finding the balance. And it's always attuned to the strength of your soul. You're never given more than you can handle. When you're here on Earth, you have something you don't have in the higher realms. You have time. Time makes healing possible. It lets us pause and breathe and learn and try again. We've also got tools that help, things like meditation, prayer, energy clearing, energy healing, even, physical remedies that buffer the pain of growth. In the spirit world, you feel everything raw. Here we get to process it in layers. And that's why Earth School is both intense and merciful. The biggest lesson we're here to learn: freedom and love. Freedom means recognizing everything that still binds us, the addictions, the fears, the unhealed wounds, and, resentment, limiting beliefs. Excuse me. We recognize all that and we release them through our awareness and through our compassion. Love means remembering that everything we see is a reflection. Whatever triggers us in other people is showing us what still needs healing inside ourselves. That's why judgment never works, because we're only judging ourselves. Every moment is divinely orchestrated to help us release, forgive, and return to love. Even the hard moments are gifts. And yes, there are, darker energies on this planet, entities or frequencies that feed on fear and anger and pain. But we are never powerless. Every one of us carries a divine spark. That energy is stronger than anything lower vibrational, and it's available 24/7 if we just call on it. Our guides, ancestors, our angels, they're all with us every step of the way. But we have to ask. That's part of the free will agreement. The second big lesson after freedom is love in action, being of service. So every encounter, no matter how small it may seem, is a chance to love, to forgive, and to serve. It's not about preaching or forcing kindness. It's about embodying love so deeply that just being near you shifts others. And that's where you are. You're at that level. If you're an empath, HSP, Lightworker, starseed, that's the level you're at. That's what it means to be an empath or Lightworker, to be love in motion. When we choose love, we raise not only our vibration, but everything around us, right? When you're doing your job, I'll say, keeping your energy clear, keeping your vibe high, just being in your presence helps people. And that's why you're being rushed through this year, because you're being called to do that job. When you choose love, you're raising the vibration of the collective, not just your own. Does that make sense? Love transforms energy faster than anything else. I'm hearing something now. My guides are saying to remember that nothing ever happens to you. It's happening for you. It's happening for your progression. Your life is always kind of conspiring to help you awaken, to help you grow. And when you live from that truth, when you stop blaming and stop complaining and you start forgiving and letting love guide your choices, life becomes lighter. Manifestation becomes faster. And your connection to the divine becomes unshakable. This is the real curriculum of Earth School, to remember that our purpose isn't to be perfect, it's to be present, to love, to grow, to serve. That's how we graduate with honors, through that love. I know, this has been a lot, and this whole year has been a lot, but I have so much more they want me to talk about, and I feel like I need to break it down into different videos because it's a lot. But you should see the notes I have. I was meditating all this week. All these messages about what the empaths need to learn, and they need to learn it now, and da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know if I should continue or let me meditate on that. Hold on. Yes, they told me to go on to at least one more thing about figuring out, because I guess they're making me feel like you guys are maybe confused about whether you actually are an empath, starseed, Lightworker, HSP, whatever. So let's get into that. So you notice how there's so much despair in the world right now, right? People are anxious, they're tired. Some people are numb, disconnected. Like I keep saying, we are entertained into slumber. They want you to constantly be on your phone and doing this and that, because the more distracted you are, the easier you are to control. They being the toxic forces. I'll just leave it at that. And it's working. People are anxious, people are scared, people are, like I said, numb, distracted, disconnected, whatever, more than ever before. And so, again, you might be wondering, like, am I one of the Lightworkers? Am I an empath, starseed, whatever? So here we go. Okay. my understanding is, and again, this comes via my guides and sometimes via your guides when I'm doing readings for you guys, but Earth is going through a massive energetic shift, a total transformation. She's not dying, she's evolving. The planet is literally shaking off the heaviness and the density and the trauma that humanity has created over thousands of years. This has always been my complaint. The Earth will survive. The question is, will we, right? The dinosaurs are extinct. The Earth made it through. Earth will adapt. Humans, I don't know. Earth has always adapted. It will adapt again. And that's what it's doing. It's shaking free of all the stuff we've done to it. It'll still be here. The question is, will we be able to live in the new conditions that we've created? But anyway, we can feel it in everything. The chaos, the emotional intensity, the global unrest, the extreme weather. None of it's random. It's part of Earth's process of releasing old energy so she can rise into a higher vibration. So, here's the truth. Billions of souls chose to be here right now because of this shift. We volunteered. We knew that in this lifetime, even with all, again, the pain and intensity, we could clear karma and evolve faster than ever before. So what used to take hundreds or even thousands of years to heal can now happen in one lifetime. And if you look at this year, you can see why. Look how much has shifted in 1 year. And I say over and over, you guys have gone through so much in 1 year, stuff that took me a decade to get through. Things are really speeding up. And we knew that planning this lifetime. That's why there's so many people on the planet right now. So many souls signed up for this mission. To awaken, to clear, to serve, to help rebuild the new earth. Every soul currently here chose this. Even the ones in the hardest places, even the ones who leave early. When souls cross over, they often realize what they've accomplished and they celebrate it. They understand that even through pain, they've evolved. But when we're here, in human form, under, again, that veil of forgetfulness, we forget all that. We forget that we chose this. We forget that we wanted to be here for this moment in time. And that forgetting is what creates the fear and the anxiety and the despair. But the divine never leaves us without help. Right now, there are countless beings, whether that's angels, ascended masters, star seeds, star families, ancestors, guides, whatever, assisting Earth and everyone on it. Many of them even volunteered to come down and incarnate, not because they had karma or they needed lessons, but because of the pure love and compassion they have for all of us, all of our souls. They're the Lightworkers, the volunteers, the healers and empaths and teachers and truth tellers, the ones who came to hold the vibration of light when things feel dark. This is where you come in. Dolores Cannon called them the 3 waves of volunteers. These souls that often feel like they don't belong here. They feel, like I said, homesick for something they can't quite name. They can't quite put their finger on it. They look around and think, what's wrong with this planet? Why does everything feel so heavy? They feel like they don't belong. I have felt that my entire life. But it's because you vaguely remember, even if only in your energy, you vaguely remember what higher dimensions feel like. You're not broken. You're starting to remember. But being a light worker here on Earth isn't easy. The contrast between high frequency energy and the density of this world can create a lot of fatigue and mood swings, confusion, sometimes even despair. I felt it myself. That's why it's so important to stay grounded and stay connected to Source. When the world feels like it's falling apart, don't try to fix everything. Don't, obsess about what's going on out there. Go inward. Return to your center. I don't want to get religious, but I'm hearing a Bible quote. Go to God's dwelling place, which is in you, and let yourself be guided by the one who lives within. That's where your power is, in your connection. You are always supported, always guided. You are always loved. And this message, it isn't just for the quote-unquote special souls or volunteers. It's for all of us. We are all called to bring the light. Every single person can be a helper or a comforter, a source of peace in the storm. Sorry, I want to look up something I read before that I've always kind of kept in journals. I hope I got the right one here. Yeah, because it's got to be. It's this quote from a book I read called Man's Search for Meaning. One second. Okay. So it says, we who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. Everything can be taken from a person but one thing: the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. It makes me want to cry all the time. Talking about how people in concentration camps still had compassion for others. I have to pause 1 second. Okay. Anyway, that's what being a light worker is all about. It's not about, perfection or pretending to be positive all the time. It's about choosing love even when it's hard. So no, you're not going to be perfect. I'm far from perfect, right? I get aggravated because everybody keeps sending toxic energy my way, and I should be at a point where that doesn't bother me, but it does. I can take it. I get overwhelmed when it's like everybody's shooting it at me. So you're not going to be perfect. And how can you be if people are shooting negative energy at you? And they're shooting it your way too. So I get what you're feeling. It's not about being perfect. It's not about pretending, like I said, to be positive all the time. Just choose love, even when it's hard. That's how I can make Sunday service. I'm so frustrated with the negativity being sent my way. But I had to buck up, center myself, and know that I'm supposed to talk about this stuff. And here we are, and I'm fine. The old world is collapsing, and that's a good thing. It means the new one is being born. And we came here for this. This is why we're here. We planned this incarnation at the soul level. So don't let the chaos make you forget your power. There is still so much good here. There are acts of kindness if you look for them. There's love, there's generosity, and there's awakening everywhere you look. I have seen some shocking things the last couple of weeks from people I never thought were going to awaken. The divine realms are here with us. Our guides are cheering us on. And every time we choose peace instead of fear, or compassion instead of judgment, love instead of bitterness, we anchor more light onto this planet. You're not here by accident. You're part of the biggest transformation Earth has ever known. And I hope this reminds you of who you really are. You're a powerful and eternal cosmic being of light, here to help build the new Earth. I think that's a good note to leave it on. Maybe I'll channel some stuff and wrap it up. Okay, first thing. So let me go back to when I was saying, be careful about what you let this energy get you to do, and how you deal with it, and not passing it along to other people, and disconnecting and making sure you're clearing your energy and blah blah blah. Okay, going back to that, because this is very important for several people, and one person in particular who I always get messages that seem to apply to you in these collectives, and I just sent you a video this morning, and you had emailed me this morning, and so I put the video together with some recordings I had for you, blah, 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 okay? I feel like this applies to you as well. Okay, so we're in this heavy energy. Empaths, HSPs, you've been going through a million things this year. It's so heavy, it's so difficult, you're so exhausted, and I get it. However, it is imperative you find what works for you to pull yourself out of this. Because what I'm getting is actually that you need to find, even if it's just, if you have to start small, find the good things that are happening for you. So if you're, feeling really miserable and like there's nothing good, well, that's a bad place to be, first of all. Get to work on your energy. But let's say you're there. Start with, are you living on the streets? No. Are you starving? No. Right? Can you see? Can you walk? Can you know what I mean? If you gotta start there, start there. Start with the gratitude. Because the heavy message is you have to turn this around, because it's like you're feeling, whoever this applies to, this group of people, you're in that space of like nothing's going right, everything's wrong, like that kind of energy, and they're saying like you have to shift this. And I'll tell you why in a second. It's very important. You have to shift this and start feeling gratitude for the things that are good, because you are deflecting the things that are trying to come in because you're in this miserable energy, and B, there's an important call coming. And if you're in this energy, it's all kind of how you handle this is going to determine how this call goes. So if this call that you've been waiting for comes, and you're in a miserable energy and you're like, what do you want? Or, in that kind of mind space, it's not going to go the way it should. They're making me feel like this is super important. Now, if this call comes that you've been waiting for, and you're open, and you let this person know that you're open, it's going to go the way it's supposed to. It's super important because it's coming now. They're making me feel like it's coming like now. But definitely making me feel like you've got to turn this around now. Sit down today and write things that you're grateful for. You've got to get in an energy of gratitude. You have to, or this whole year has been for naught. They want you to pause and recognize the good things that you have around you. And I'm going to say this is all feminine energy. Doesn't mean you're a man or woman, but it's all feminine energy that this applies to. You got to recognize the good things you have and get in that gratitude. And you have to open your heart space and be willing to receive good things. When you're in this energy of everything sucks, nothing's working, God, spirit, the universe hates me, blah, 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 you are energetically pushing back on the good things that are trying to come in. They want you to notice the small positive things to set a mindset for receiving more good things. And it's imperative because this call is how it comes through, is coming. And the person is already nervous. They're afraid you're not going to respond well. So if you don't respond well, it's not going to go very well. If you answer and respond, openly, I want to hear from you. Oh, it's good to hear from you. Or I want to hear what you have to say, or whatever. They're going to pour their heart out. It's coming from someone who needs to clear the air, and I feel like they need to admit something. But the heavy message is that the initial energy, the initial response you give will dictate how the caller proceeds with the conversation. Because again, this person is terrified of rejection, but it's like they've been at this hurdle just kind of looking at it, and now they're about to jump it, even though they're still terrified of rejection. But something about the combination of we just went through the supermoon and the 1010 portal. That energy is bringing them over this hurdle, and they're ready to kind of lay out everything on the table, all the regret and heartbreak, and just like disclose everything. Sorry, my allergies just went crazy, and I'm trying not to sneeze, and I'm trying not to sniff too much, and it's crazy. Maybe somebody has an allergy issue. But they're going to talk about how devastated they've been by the separation, even though I think they behaved as though they were okay. And your guides are encouraging you to listen calmly and be reassuring, because reassurance helps. I'm just going to say it's a masculine energy, so I'm just going to say him. The reassurance helps him gain confidence to be vulnerable and kind of express everything he's been feeling and hiding. They're saying you already know it's better to be in a place of peace, and that you're in this energy because of everything that's been going on, and how we've all had to go through wave after wave after lesson after lesson. It's been a rough year. I don't know how many times I can say it. It's been a rough year for HSPs and empaths, and even more difficult because you're probably surrounded by people who are not experiencing it. But they're saying I don't want to put it this way, it's how it's coming through. You're letting the waves topple over you instead of learning how to stand in them. We're supposed to be learning how to stand in the waves, not falling over with them. And they say you already know this, but by letting these waves control us or take us down, you're blocking all the things that were meant to come for you after this. They want you to be open to receiving the best things. You're not even open right now, is basically what they're saying. Like, we're about to deliver you all this stuff, but you're not even open to it right now. You have to turn this around right now. Right now. Today. Sit. What are the good things in your life? What are you grateful for right now? Like I said, if you gotta start small, start small. I had food today. I have a roof over my head. Whatever you have to start with. I can walk, I can see, I can, whatever. They're literally telling me you're like blocking positive things in the moment right now. Positive things that are meant for you. I don't know. This call is something you've been trying to manifest. It's like wish fulfillment. Starting today, you have got to turn this around. You've got to open your energy flow to receive anything, healing. And that's what brings in this. And not just this, but all the things that are meant to come for you.